All right, we're live. Sweet. Gonna get myself set up on Instagram as usual. Hello, Noah Rocker. Thank you so much for joining on Instagram. Welcome, Brandon Guzman. Thanks so much for joining. And hi, Max. Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Miss you. And hi, Sahaj. Thanks for joining as well. And hello, Art from My Life. Hello, Brandon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great week. All right. And hello to everybody on Facebook. Awesome. It's going to be a great time. Hi, Alvin. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Great to see you here. How are you? How was your week? And hello, Brian McAfee. Thanks for joining as well. All right. So welcome, everybody, to this week's Live It Up Thursday live stream, where we spread fun, positivity, and the love of music. And it's super, super awesome to be here. And appreciate all of you tuning in. This week, I have my incredible special guest. His name is Vinnie Zummo, and he is a producer, writer, arranger, sound designer, and session guitarist. Now, he is fantastic. He's such a great musician, and he's actually been working with, he's worked with Joe Jackson for 7 years and went on 3 world tours with him, and you'll be hearing a lot of cool stuff about him when I have him on, and we talk about his music, and yeah, gonna be playing some of his really, really awesome songs as well. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a great time, and very excited. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Hello, Goddess Nike. Thanks for joining. Hello, Kurt Paul. So great to see you here. And hello, Mark Mohide. Great to see you here, too. Hello, Terrical John. Sending love to all of you. Hope everyone had a beautiful week. Beautiful week. All right. So, hello, NY Magic Playa. Congratulations on getting into sessions, by the way. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to start with some songs before I have my guest on. So the first song that I'll be singing is a lovely Beatles tune, which I'm sure all of you know. This one is Blackbird by the Beatles. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, That was Blackbird by the Beatles, and I really hope you enjoyed that one. That's such a beautiful song. Let's see. Oh, Bobby Holtz, thank you so much for joining the live stream, sending lots of love and good vibes your way. Hope you have an amazing one, and yeah, really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much, Kurt Kruger. I love this song too. And Brian McAfee says, Blackbird was incredible, Camille. Thank you so much, Brian. Means a lot. And awesome, Kurt Paul. Thank you for sending that. I will check it out after this. Also, please let me know where everyone is tuning in from. Thank you so much, Alvin. Truly, truly appreciate it. Jamal, happy Friday. Oh, cool. It's Friday for you. It is Thursday for me. That's amazing. Watching from Dubai. Thank you so much for tuning in from Dubai. Awesome. And thank you so much, Vincent. Appreciate that. And let's see. Wow, thank you so much, Nelson. Means a lot. Thank you so much, Noah Allen. Great to see you here. Kevin Duff, thanks for joining. All right. Okay, the next song is The Boy from Ipanema, which is an amazing bossa nova song. And I was inspired by both, obviously the original, and Diana Krall and Amy Winehouse's versions of the song. So mine's kind of like a combination of the two, but also my own. So I hope you like it. Here it is.
Tall and tan and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking it. When he passes, each one he passes goes da-ba-dee-dee-down. When he walks, he's just like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when he passes, I smile. But he doesn't see. Oh, but I want him so badly. How can I tell him I love him? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day as he walks to the sea, he looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking in. When he passes, all the girls go da-ba-dee-dee-down. When he walks, he's just like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when he passes, all the girls go da-ba-dee-dee-down. Oh, but I watch him so sadly. How can I tell him I love him? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day as he walks to the sea, he looks straight ahead, not at me.
That was The Boy from Ipanema, and I hope you enjoyed my cover of that song. Thank you so much, Noah Allen, for all the hearts. Sending love to you as well. And thank you so much, Nelson. Love you too. Oh, thank you. God bless. You are so sweet. Truly appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much, Odell. I hope you had a great week. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. And thank you so much, Horizontal Trees. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Alan and Paula. Oh, and happy Easter to all of you. I totally forgot. Okay, I'm so bad with holidays. I forgot that Easter is this Sunday. Well, happy Easter to everyone who celebrates it. Vincent says that was lovely. Do you know any Jeff Buckley? Oh, I'm familiar with some of his songs, but unfortunately I have not learned any. But I'll make sure to check some out. Thank you so much, Vincent. And Eleanor, I love you too. I hope all is well with you, Eleanor. Sending so much love and prayers to you. And thank you so much, Kevin Duff. Appreciate that too. And also, if you are enjoying the live stream, please make sure to share it with your friends and your family or your neighbor or anybody like that. That would truly mean so much to me. So, yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the show too. And hello, Aunt Diane. Thank you so much. Sending love to you as well. Happy Easter. All right. And Kevin Duff, thank you so much for sharing to 22 groups and friends. That is crazy. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. Here is my next song, which is one of my favorite songs, which I've been listening to forever. It's by this artist named Rex Orange County, and I love a lot of his songs, so I covered a few. But I hope you like this one. This is Sunflower.
Whoa, I want to know where I can go when you're not around and I'm feeling down. So won't you stay for a moment so I can say that I need you so, 'cause right now you know that nothing is new, and I'm obsessed with you. Then I fell to the ground, you smiled at me and said, I don't wanna see you cry. Oh, you don't have to feel this emptiness. You said I love you till the day that I die. Well, maybe he's right, 'cause I don't wanna feel like I'm not me. And to be honest, I don't even know why I let myself get down in the first place. Taking down, down, eating body day. Taking down, down, eating body day. Waiting for a minute till the sun seen through my eyes. Taking down, down, eating body day. Taking down, down, eating body day. Waiting for a minute till the sun seen through my eyes. You know you need to get yourself to sleep and dream of you and I. There's no need to keep an open eye. I promise I'm the one for you. Just let me hold you in these arms tonight. I'm lucky to be me, and you can see it in my face. Back when I messed my stuff up too many times, why would I let myself get down in the first place? Taking down, down, eating body day. Taking down, down, eating body day. Waiting for a minute till the sun down, down, dee dum body day. Digging down, down, dee dum body day. Waiting for a minute till the sun seen through my eyes. And so he sat me down and told me that I didn't need to cry, didn't need to get down or feel empty inside. And he told me that he loved me for as long as I'm alive. And you know, sometimes I feel like I'm not even me. Honestly, I don't even know why. Said honestly, I don't even know why. Trying to keep my mind at bay. Sunflower still grows at night. Waiting for a minute till the sun seen through my eyes. Digging down, down, dee dum body day. Digging down, down, dee dum body day. Waiting for a minute till the sun seen through my eyes. That was one of my all-time favorite songs, Sunflower. I always listen to that song when I need to be cheered up. Makes me feel happy. So I hope that one cheered you guys up as well. I hope you enjoyed it. And let's see, check in the comments. Thank you so much, Noah Allen, and thank you so much, Kurt Kruger. Oh, Jeff Buckley made the song Hallelujah famous. Oh, yeah. I've heard his version. Awesome. Wow, 15 verses. I did not know that. Thank you for filling me in, Kevin. And yes, Estelle sang American Boy, Kurt Paul. So that's Estelle and Kanye West. And thank you so much, Nelson. God bless you as well. Appreciate that. And thank you so much, Aaron. Hello, it's great to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Bobby Holt says, I even spread the word about you and everyone else who are talented and beautiful voice, and music helps so wonderful, beautiful, peaceful voice, Camille. Thank you so much, Bobby Holtz. I truly, truly appreciate all of your love and support. It means so much to me, and thank you for sharing. And yeah, I'm so glad that I could help you and comfort you. Sending love to you. And thank you so much, NY Magic Playa. Happy Easter to you guys at Horizontal Tree Records. Let's see, do you know any Sarah? Oh, I do, on the keyboard. But unfortunately, it's not plugged in today, but maybe for another time. And oh, no worries, Bobby Holtz. Thank you so much. You're so kind. And yeah, I could do Put Your Records On and American Boy at the after party, if that's all right. And I'm gonna check the comments here on Instagram. Let's see. Oh, hi Fatima, thanks for joining. I hope you're doing well, miss you. Sending love to you. Thank you so much, Alan Foster. Thank you, Brandon. I'm glad you enjoy the cover. Hello, Emily. Hello, Orlando Duran. Hope you are doing well. Dre Marks, thanks so much. Welcome, Mesta Brooks live stream. Appreciate you joining. Hello, Hard Rock Brianna. Hello, Anne. Hello, Timeflex Beats. Uncle Mowacker, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rolando. Sending love to you. Hope you're doing well. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Anna. And thank you, Brandon, for the hearts. And thank you, Anna Borisellino. And oh, hi, Hard Rock Brianna. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you? Oh my gosh, Bella says you should do a cover of I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Throwback to 6th grade. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. You know, I'm going to have to get my ukulele out for that. I think I'm going to have to do, if I'm going to do I'm Yours, I'm going to do the quadratic equation song that Bella, my friend, and I co-wrote. Oh my gosh. Good days. And thank you so much, Aunt Joanna and Uncle Mowacker and everybody else. All right, on to the next song, which is Wicked Game by
Chris Isaak. A very addictive song to listen to. Love this song so much. Oh, Kevin Duff says any Carole King. Actually, I'm gonna do a Carole King song, a song that Carole King wrote after this song, so stay tuned for that. Okay, here it is. This is Wicked Game, and hope you enjoy. And hi, Vinnie, I see you backstage. Everybody, please make sure to stay tuned for my incredible, amazing special guest, Vinnie Zummo. He is a producer, writer, arranger, sound designer, and session guitarist. And he is an awesome musician. And it's going to be so great talking to him about all of his experience and just about music. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to stay tuned, and I'm excited. All right, here is Wicked Game by Chris Isaak.
World was on fire, no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire can make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. Never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. What a wicked game you play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say. You never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do to make me dream of you. And I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. World was on fire, no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire can make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This boy is only gonna break my heart. No, I
That was Wicked Game by Chris Isaac, and I hope you enjoyed my cover of that song. And so I have 2 more songs left, and then I'm going to be having on my amazing special guest, so stay tuned. All right, let's see. The next song is the Carole King one. Gonna take a sip of tea first. All right. Oh, you got headphones? Let's see. Thank you so much, Elvin. And oh, wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, Jean. And hello, Uncle Andy, if you're watching this. And let's see. Thank you so much, Odell. And thank you, Judy Weaver. And thank you so much, Brian. All right, cool. I'm going to do Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Hope you enjoy.
Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes. Will you still love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure or just a moment's pleasure? Can I believe the magic of your sighs? Will you still love me tomorrow? Tonight with the words unspoken, you say that I'm the only one, the only one. But will my heart be broken when the night meets the morning sun? I have to know that your love is love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow?
That was Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow by Carole King originally, and I was inspired by Amy Winehouse's version. And I hope you enjoyed that one, and thank you so much, Noah Allen, for all the hearts, sending love to you too. And Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow brings back so many wonderful memories. Oh, of course. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Brian. And thank you so much, Elvin. And thank you, Judy Weaver. And of course, Kevin Duff. Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Mark, as well. All right, so I have one more song until I have my incredible, amazing special guest, Vinnie Zummo. So please make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm just going to do November Rain, and I'll go ahead and get started with the interview portion. Super excited. All right, here is November Rain.
When I look into your eyes, I see a love restrained. Darling, when I hold you, don't you know I feel the same? But nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change. And it's hard to hold a candle in the cold November rain. We've been through this such a long, long time, trying to heal the pain. Oh, love is always coming, love is always going. No one really knows you. Let it go today. Walking away. So if we take the time to lay it on the line, I can rest my head just knowing you are mine. Oh, mine. So if you want to love me, darling, don't refrain. 'Cause I'll just end up walking in the cold November rain. Do you need some time on your own? Do you need some time all alone? Oh, everybody needs some time on your own. Oh, don't you know you need some time all alone? 'Cause I know it's hard to keep an open heart, and even friends seem out to harm you. But if you could mend a broken heart, wouldn't time be out to charm you? Whoa. Fears inside you, shadows still remain. And I know you won't love me when there's no one left to blame. we can still find a way. But nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. Do you need some time on your own? Do you need some time all alone? Oh, everybody needs some time on your own. Don't you know you need some time all
That was November Rain by Guns N' Roses, and I hope you enjoyed that one. My mom inspired me to learn that one, so hope you liked it, Mom, and everybody else watching. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my guitar away, and then I'm going to get myself ready, and then we're going to have on my special guest, Vinnie Zummo. Stay tuned. All right. Awesome. We're ready. All right, Vinnie, I'm going to add you onto the stream.
Are we cool?
Hi, Vinnie. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure.
Awesome. Super excited. This is going to be great.
I'm sorry I have my pandemic non-hairdo. I
Oh.
haven't had it cut in like 8 months, so.
Oh, you're all good. Same with all of us, I'm sure. We can all relate.
I played along with most of your set. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, you did? That's
Great. Yeah,
amazing.
we had our first gig together. You just didn't know about it.
That is amazing.
Really nice. I like your voice a lot. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it.
Different.
That means a lot coming from you.
You got something different, definitely.
Thanks. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Vinnie Zummo. Let me see. I don't quite know what to say. I'm a guitarist by trade, but I play a lot of instruments. I produce. Let me see. I arrange. I did 7 years with Joe Jackson. I've done music for soap operas, commercials. I have a jazz trio. I play a lot of country and heavy metal, anything, basically.
Wow.
I like music, all kinds of music.
Absolutely.
Wait a minute, you went away. All I see is me now. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
That's better.
I'm going to, just because on Instagram, it's a vertical format because we're also streaming to Instagram.
Oh, okay.
They can't really see us, like either of us, if I'm like this all the way, like all the time. So, all right. So how did you get started? How did you get into music?
Oh God, my family was very, very musical. So music was always in the house. I can remember, actually, my earliest memories. I can actually remember being in a crib, watching them all play, and being jealous that I couldn't play. I couldn't wait till I was old enough to try an instrument. It was a very, it was an intense thing in my life, right from the beginning. You know.
Yeah. Always had that love for music.
You just got really low volume.
Oh, you always had that love for music.
Oh yeah, from birth. I mean, and I started on the accordion because that's what Italian American families did, you know.
I see.
But that was cool too, though, because we had my uncle Tony had a classical accordion orchestra, and so I had a chance to be part of that. We played Carnegie Hall. We played a lot of contests, yeah, and it was interesting to be part of an orchestra, even if it was accordions. I've often thought the reason I have no trouble writing songs is that foundation from being a kid and hearing all those great classical themes. Then, of course, going from there into Beatles and pop and all that, and then into bebop. I'm serious into the jazz thing now.
Mm-hmm.
I like all music as long as it's played well, you know?
Definitely. That's really interesting. I actually wanted to pick up the accordion a few years ago, but never got the chance to.
It's funny, it's considered really hip now, but when I was a kid, it was embarrassing to play the accordion, you know?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It comes in handy, though. I mean, I still textural. You can do things like in a pop song, if you hold a chord in the background and bury it, people don't know it's there, but it glues the whole thing together. Beatles would use a harmonium a lot. And I've noticed on Beach Boys tunes that once in a while he had like 3 accordionists in, and they'd all play different voicings, and it was like an early synth. If you listen to the
That is
Beach
so
Boys
cool.
closely, yeah, there's accordions.
I
Yeah,
did not know that.
yeah. I could. There's a specific song. I know it because I ripped it apart and studied it. I don't know if you heard my song, "I Want to Love You." It's a beat
Yes, I have.
that I based on a Beach Boys song. I don't want to say the name of the song because who knows who's listening and who's going to sue. But I'll tell you at some other point. When I studied the rhythm section, I found a rhythm section thing of it on YouTube without the singing. And sure enough, there were 3 accordions. It was the basis of the whole song. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you the name of the song.
Oh, great.
I
Okay.
never knew. I mean, I was a fan of the Beach Boys. I love the music, and I never knew there were 3 accordions on this song until I started ripping it apart. But
That's
it's a
really
good
interesting.
textural instrument in the background, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Really.
fills it up more.
Well, I'm a big fan of texture, like doing something that you don't know is there, but it propels the song and glues things together. I don't
Exactly.
like overt instrumentation, like, oh, there's the piano, there's the guitar. I like it when it all kind of smushes up and there's something in there that isn't there when you hear each instrument separately, but when they're together, there's like that extra person playing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I got to get familiar with your recording. Do you do stuff with bands and with instrumentation or just guitar and voice?
Before COVID, I was in a Pink Floyd tribute band. I've been like gigging with bands before that. So yeah, I used to perform with bands a lot. Now I'm just really focusing on my solo music, but I also am still with a Pink Floyd tribute band as well.
Oh,
So
that's smart
doing that
though,
too.
focusing on your solo music. I wish I had done that earlier in my life, but that's the problem. When you're a musician, when you're a sideman and you get hired to play on things, sometimes your music takes a back seat. I never really got to it till about maybe 15 years ago. I just kind of kept my stuff to the side. Though I had my wife Janice and I. She's an amazing singer songwriter. I don't know how much of her stuff you've heard, but we had an album on A&M called Modern Marriage in the '80s, and we would dress alike. We'd go to the record company and hand out candy. We were nuts. We were trying for something like a comedy '80s thing. They didn't get it, of course, but we had an album and we had a deal, and we came this close. There was a payola scandal at the time, so
Oh,
new acts were not getting broken because it would take dirty money to do it, and they weren't going to risk it for us. But music business is pretty dirty business.
yeah, that's true.
But so is all business.
Yep. But, with COVID and all, I think it's given
Yeah.
all of us and just a lot of time to focus and, perfect our craft. So
Yeah.
that's really been when I've been focusing on my solo music and also been doing the Pink Floyd stuff. So that's a lot of fun to do. Yeah, like learning every songs. I would learn like 5 songs each week for like this live stream. And now I have like a catalog of like so many
That's
hours of
great.
songs.
Great. No, you're doing something that's going to pay off in the long run.
Thank you.
Plus, you
Thanks so
learn these
much.
tunes, that melody and those chord segments, that all gets in your head, and it helps with writing. Because
Yeah,
writing, you have to really just program your mind to accept a lot of data, a lot of input, and then it all kind of jumps out into a song later on.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
I'm a fan of listening to as many types of music. Listen to people who are really good at what they do and very specific. Like there's a number of female jazz vocalists that are remarkable. And there's people like Patsy Cline in the country vein. There's some people that are just above everyone else in what they do. If you study what they do, it always rubs off on you and you get a little bit of it in your music. I find,
Yeah.
it's like putting data in a computer. Then it jumps out
Absolutely.
your ears.
Just sucks it all in.
Well, the better part is when it comes out. Like you'll mix up
True.
things that you've heard, and there'll be like 10 influences in one song that just kind of come out when you write. Do you write a lot?
Yeah, I've been trying to. Yes.
That's the main thing. That's the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I like the writing more than I like the recording because it's just so. The way I work is very strange. Like I'm usually holding a guitar, but I do not write with a guitar. I do not write with an instrument. The only way I can write a song is to sit down and write it on a piece of paper. I get it in my head and I write it down as I hear it. And then I record each part I heard exactly. It never varies. I get the tempo. But if I'm to pick up a guitar, the song stops. It's just the way my mind works. It doesn't like an instrument involved.
That is so interesting. I'm
It's
the
weird.
opposite way. Like I can't write without an instrument. I'm either like noodling on the piano and I find some chords and then I write to that, or I'm like doing the same thing on guitar if I find a riff I like.
Well,
It's really
that's
interesting.
normal. That's what most
Yeah.
people do. I just can't. I find if I'm writing, I've learned the hard way. If I pick up an instrument, it stops. It's like someone shut a faucet. And then if I put the instrument down, maybe it'll come back to me. But I get it very exact. I hear a whole thing in my head the way I want it, and I just copy each part down. See, I learned to read and write music a little later in life. So for me, it's not a crutch, it's a tool. Instead of reaching for a digital recording device, I just grab a piece of paper and write it all out. And you can write beyond your capabilities of playing. Your mind always has a wider palette than what you can actually play yourself, I find. Guitar is just find an instrument limiting. But if I get something cool in my head, then I got to sit down and figure it out on the guitar. And I learned something from it. But hey, we all do it different. I'm always amazed at how different people work. When you hear about some of the great artists, they all had very unique ways of going about things.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about music, though. Everybody comes from a different angle,
Mm-hmm.
a very unique thing. Like it's a kind of a exclusive club too. Very few people can understand what we're talking about getting an inspiration and writing a song and how you do it, how I do it. And I don't know what they think we do, but whenever I talk to like civilian people who don't play an instrument or are not musicians, I'm always amazed at what they think goes into the process. Like they'll ask me about Joe Jackson. They'll say, "Oh, you come up with all your own parts," and it's like, no. He was worse than I'm pretty bad. I mean, when I have a musician in, I know exactly what I want because I usually play everything myself. But he was very, very exacting, very exacting. He'd even sometimes give me the first few notes he wanted my solo to start on, which was very difficult for me because when I solo, I go out. I just drift mentally. I'm not thinking. I don't believe in thinking when performing. I like to keep my mind open and just kind of drift with it. But it was good experience, though. I mean, it was very good discipline for someone like me because it was so opposite to the way I work. But
I see. Yeah, that's so amazing that you got to work with him and do all these stuff. Like, you're a phenomenal musician. I
thank
was
you.
just listening.
You're
You're
kind.
welcome. I was listening to all your stuff earlier and like this week, and I'm just mind blown with all your music. Just, it's
Thank
very
you.
unique. You're welcome. Each of your albums, and I really enjoy it. So,
Thank you. I'll have
You're
to send
welcome.
you. Did I send you the whole catalog?
I was checking out your. I think you sent me a lot of links. I was checking out all of your Spotify.
I'll send you a download of all 8 albums.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole albums.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a throwback. I like the concept of having an exact order of things. I like designing an album cover. I kind of miss that now. It's nice that we have all the digital equipment we have, and I embrace it all, but it's kind of sad that there's no physical product anymore at the end of it. It's just
see.
downloads now. Well, I'm older than you, so I like the whole concept of like designing a cover, And then having it in your hand and it's physical, that's just the way I grew up. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Actually, okay. So, what inspired some of your albums?
you want to give me an example of one?
Uh, the um, the sound, the guitar sounds
Oh,
of
Swinging
Young
Guitar Sounds of
America.
Young
Yep.
America. This is very strange. That's this one. What
Oh,
happened
cool.
is we went through a period where, how can I say this without getting maudlin? We lost 3 close family members pretty much within a 2-year period, pretty much back to back. And we
Oh, I'm
were
so
all kind
sorry
of
to hear that.
down. It's life. We were all down for the count. And I just said, you know what? I've never done an album of my own material. You know, just all these things. Like I'd hear a Beach Boys song and say, God, I'd like to write something like that. Or I'd hear a Beatles song and say, I'd like to do something like that. Or B.B. King or John Scofield. So I said, what would happen if I got an album, got a really crazy cover? I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah,
My
awesome.
friend
I love
Tony
it.
Troiano designed that. And inside is all, it's very kind of psychedelic. And every song's a different idiom of music, a different genre. And, you know, it got me out of my funk. I wasn't as depressed anymore. And there was
That's
even a
great.
song on there for my mother that we wrote. Janice is amazing. I wrote this complex set of chords. It's a song called Without You Here. And
Mm-hmm.
I gave her these chords and she came up with a melody and lyrics in like 20 minutes. And we actually sang the vocals in our bathrobes. It was supposed to be a rough take just to have the melody recorded so we didn't forget it. But it was so good and so emotional. You hear our voices crack, which is not me. I don't usually relate emotion to music. And the song is very emotional. I mean, I've had family members, the minute they heard it, they cried because it kind of captured something about my mom because she was a unique person. And from there, I just said, well, you know what? I did it with the one album. Everyone liked it. Let's do another one. Let's do a third one. But by the time I did Swinging Guitar Sounds of Young America Volume 3, I was getting some really smarmy comments from people like, oh, you're just ripping off the Beatles. You don't have your own thing.
Oh,
So
really?
so I decided to go radically different. And we did jazz albums so we could show off Janice's voice. And then I did the Coyote album. And I did the Christmas albums. The Christmas albums are actually the only thing I do that's very successful financially.
I love your Christmas albums.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, no,
They're masterful.
I like mixing it up. You know, I get bored otherwise. The new
Yeah,
album's
it's
going to be
great.
very peculiar. It's a real pandemic album.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm excited.
I based it on a song about the pandemic,
I
basically.
see.
But it's not downbeat. It's very upbeat, and it's kind of in a Steely Dan vein, kind of, but not
Oh, Steely
really.
Dan.
Because I always go in a different direction than I start. And then I did some really improvised stuff, like just made it up on the spot and recorded and then layered after that. I don't usually do that. I usually get the whole song, but this time I said, I'm just going to just fool around, see what happens. And it's very, very different. It's kind of a strange record, but I think people are going to like it. It's very hard to do though. The pandemic I don't know what it is about it. It's made it really hard for me to concentrate on things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just
I
that whole
think
thing being trapped in the house.
it's affected us all for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting with musicians, you know? I've talked to a lot of them and they're all pretty much affected the same way. It's like, yeah, finally have this opportunity to stay in and write and record. And a lot of us don't feel like doing it because we're kind of forced to stay in, you know?
Yeah.
But thank God things are better now, right? We're all starting to go out.
True. Yeah, I'm really hoping, more things will open up and we can return to some type of normalcy.
Well, we'll see, you know? It is scary though. Food for thought. Makes you appreciate what you have, but now I'm starting to get into the swing of the album though. I find that they all have a life of their own. They kind of tell you what they want you to do, the album.
Mm-hmm.
As you progress on it, it will make it known to you what you need to do. I'm a firm believer in that. It's not metaphysical or anything, but I just think once you get momentum on a project, it really makes itself known, you know, and you start to understand where you got to go with it. It's like taking a little voyage.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't recorded or written an album yet, but I'm sure it's like that, you know.
Oh, you got to do it.
Music
It's
is
like going to
magical.
school, you know? It's an
Hmm.
education. Every album, I feel like I just earned a degree. I learned something new about my instrument. I learned something new about recording. I learned something new about engineers. You know, that's a trip. They all have their own concept of how to mix it. Because I'll record the whole thing myself and I'll get it close to where I want it. But then there comes that point where you need the thing an engineer does, which is like a voodoo thing. They know, yeah, they know the physics of like reverb. Like if you put one reverb on the left, another one up here, another one down there, they won't cancel each other out. We don't know that, musicians, unless we study that. I
Yeah.
put up reverb, you know, all right, put it on the right, put it on the left, fine. I don't know. But when you get a good engineer, they just can like make everything speak and sit in the right place. And I like that. I like that final little touch at the end of someone bringing it to that next level. I'm not in the room when they mix. I don't want to hear it until they send it along. It's
Oh, same
interesting.
here.
You got to do an album.
Yeah, absolutely. I really want to do one soon. I actually have a single that's going to be released
Oh,
um,
cool.
April.
Very
Oh,
cool.
thank you. And I'm really excited for your album, by the way. So I'm
Oh,
definitely going to have to give it a listen.
well, let me know if you'd like me to sit in on a cut. I'd be glad to play. Just
Oh,
send
yeah.
cyber style. Do some cyber tracking. I
Oh,
like that.
awesome.
Kick out of it. I like getting out of Vinnie Zummo land a little and getting into someone else's kind of music.
That's great. Yeah,
It
I will
brings.
definitely let you know. Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Well, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, gosh.
I always.
Um,
I'm gonna say.
Oh, same. All right. Well, that's really, really awesome. Actually, okay. Next question. What instruments do you play? I know you play the accordion and guitar. Do you play any others? And which one is your favorite?
Hmm. Well, my second is though I started on accordion, I'd say my first instrument is guitar in proficiency, and my second instrument is drums. I used to play drums
Oh,
good three, four
sweet.
hours every day when I lived at home. Yeah, and I play chromatic harmonica, all the keyboards. I make hip hop drum beats. Well, I have a whole sideline putting out hip hop beats collections for a British company. I like that a lot. I like doing that. That just gets me out of it. And pretty much anything except like brass or saxes or anything. I don't do any of that. But no, any kind of stringed instrument, I can generally get something out of it. Bass and but drums, I love. I'm obsessed with the way drums and bass relate to a track. Like once you get into your own stuff, I always advise people to try doing it on your own. Try recording each instrument because you'll learn so much from it. I mean, it took years for me to learn where the bass sits with the drums and how it gives you a foundation for the voice. You know, because the whole thing is the melody and the voice. You have to structure a track so it makes that. The song is the king. Anything that gets in the way of the song is your enemy. You
Hmm.
know, I'm not a guy to like, well, I'll put a hot guitar lick here because I feel like playing. In fact, my wife always has to tell me to turn the guitars up. I'll always bring them down. And the last thing I like is doing the guitars on my albums. It's like boring to me. I much prefer getting in on the drums, and I generally play them myself live and then edit them all up. But, you know, I
That's
love it all.
awesome.
It's all interesting. I would fully recommend, though. I'm sure you have a Pro Tool set up or Logic or something. You have a DAW?
Yeah, Logic.
Yeah, you're smart. See, I stuck with Pro Tools because I can't make heads or tails out of Logic. But if you do the tracks yourself, like do a bass part, program a drum track, you'll start to understand the role of those instruments in supporting your vocal, supporting the melody, and the guitar in supporting the drums and the bass. They all have to, it's a mesh thing, you know?
Interlock.
And it
Yeah, they all have to
really,
blend together.
really teaches you. I mean, once you understand it, even if you did an album with your band, it's much better if you could tell the bass player, you know what you're doing there, don't do that, do this. Or tell the drummer, no, I want you to go here. If you don't know that stuff, you're at their mercy. And musicians, there's a handful of them out of the thousands I've played with that I would give any kind of freedom to play what they wanted on a song of mine. You know, because most people, the whole art of recording, especially drummers, a lot of them just don't know what to do. They just kind of play.
I
When
see.
you're backing a song that you wrote, and there's a strong melody and a vocal. Everything has to be supportive of that vocal and that melody.
Absolutely.
You know, forget the hot licks. Guitar licks, yeah, fine. You want to do a fleshy guitar solo, do that in an instrumental tune, or sometimes there's a song you sing that could deal with a fleshy guitar solo. But in general, everything's got to be in service of the song, always.
Hmm.
I learned that the hard way. But well, let me know when you start your album. I can give you some pointers.
Oh,
Come,
yes, please.
this is my 10th album. No, what is it? Actually, 12th album. Only 8 are out, but it's the 12th album I've done. So I've learned an
Nice.
awful lot over the
Amazing.
years, and I do a lot of cyber recording for people. In
That
fact,
is
we
so
have a
cool.
couple of tunes I'd love to hear you sing.
Oh, okay. Please send them over.
We have a couple. Thinking of one in particular, I think you could do really well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that sounds very exciting. Thank you.
Cool, cool. And
Cool. Just
like
let
I
me
said,
know.
I'd love to play on something.
I'll definitely
My
let you know.
pleasure.
That would be so, so great.
You have a unique voice. I like it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I think it's like really right for the time too. You know, I
Thank
think
you.
this is a good time for you to break. People are going to be looking to be cheered up after the pandemic, and your voice is very uplifting, not depressing.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's the truth.
Means a
If I
lot.
didn't like it, I'd be just as apt to tell you. That's the problem with me. Really, I'm like, got to keep it shut sometimes, you know,
Hmm.
which is why I
Gotta
have a
keep it
wife.
real.
She'll come over and put her hand on my mouth and say, no, stop, you know.
That is too funny. Oh my gosh.
Well, honesty, it's a bad trait to have in the music business. People don't like it, you know,
I see. Yeah.
but that's the way I am. So what do you
It's
have doing
great.
next? What do you have going on?
Oh, okay. Well, as I mentioned, I have that single coming up, so I'm excited for that and looking forward to releasing more, songs in the future. Just recorded a music video for it, actually.
Oh, cool.
Um, Thanks. Yeah, on Saturday. So that was really a lot of fun. And, just doing these live streams and trying to write some music and working on some collabs and stuff like that and doing stuff with the band and looking forward to maybe gigging out a little bit more with the band and solo when things get better. So,
Yeah, there's nothing to replace playing live. That's a real
yeah.
education, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year?
I just, you know, live streaming is great and all, but it's just not the same.
No.
It's really not the same. When you're live and you're about to go on stage or when you're on stage, it's like truly magical and you're
Well,
just there
adrenaline.
in the moment.
Adrenaline
Yeah.
does a lot for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I find that I did a concert a few months ago, streamed, and I like set up rhythm tracks and I played along with them in my house. And it was a disaster. I had no feel for it. It had no emotion for me. And everything went wrong, of course. I hadn't, there was no one to run the Pro Tools for me and cue the songs up. My wife tried to help. Between the two of us, though, it's just too intense to do, especially in your house. You know, if you have a studio, it would be a little different. You had an engineer, but it didn't have that adrenaline rush. You know, I'd go to play a solo and it was like blah. Because you feel the people. You really get that from them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the energy exchange,
Yeah.
if the crowd is having a good time, then that affects you and you're having a good time,
Sometimes they're not having a good time and that affects you as
That
well.
affects you too. Yeah.
Did you like making the video? That's educational. I
Oh
find
yeah, I did.
fun,
It's
right?
my Oh yeah, it's my first music video, so it's really really interesting and I actually had a great time. Definitely very educational. So I was taking some pointers and stuff like that, but I had a great time.
Well, the thing I find with the videos, I don't take anyone's advice. I find most people, when it comes to videos, they'll go with the hokiest, corniest stuff. Not me. I like to stretch it. And my first video was the Ringo tune.
Oh
And that
yeah.
was fun because I surrounded myself with 2 old friends and a good friend of mine. His son is wonderful with cameras. He did the video, Paolo Marchica. And my friend Billy had Billy Stewart. His drums were the drums. There was a Ringo set, and that we used to play after high school. He'd play that set. So he let me have it for the video. He came, he set it up. So it felt really comfortable. You know, I had friends around, but I didn't take anyone's advice because everyone all of a sudden is like, how come you don't smile? And it's like nothing worse than someone fake smiling in a video, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Always do your own thing. Come up with something that you haven't seen anyone else do.
That's interesting. Thank
I
you for the
hate
advice.
I hate the concept of like, God, then there's the couple and they're walking along and then the chorus comes and the sun comes. I don't go for that. I like in I think it's play Paul McCartney where all of a sudden he has me moving around through space and I come down and land right on the floor tom as drummer Vinnie plays it. And I kind of bounce off the tom a little. It's kind of cool. You know,
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
it's not something you would expect to see or just the nature of it. Well, this guy Tim Ross does my videos. He's amazing. He animates. He'll take the footage I give him and he turns me into a cartoon. And he has quite an imagination. He has a cartoon band called Apology None. And it's great. I mean, they have a whole separate life as cartoons. And it's very cool, you know, because you're free. If it's not real and it can be artificial and made up, that's when I get interested because you're drifting. You know, then you could go with something completely unique. But
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a fan of that. You know, you usually know the answer of what's right for you with music, I find. There's
Yeah, it's
very few
intuitive.
people who can give you good advice because most people are like, if they're guitar fans, they want to hear a guitar solo. You know, if they're drum fans, it's funny. I had a song on my Swinging Guitar Sounds of Young America, Volume 2, called Mel Buddy. It was a tribute to two great drummers, Mel Lewis and Buddy Rich, which is laughable because I'm not a great drummer, but I have something when I play the drums. It's unique. And any of the drummers I let hear it. It's a harmonica big band. I don't know if you saw the video. It's all harmonicas. I played it, and I played drums. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And
Check that out.
all the drummers I sent it to it said, "Yeah, good harmonica playing." And all the harmonica players I sent it to said, "Yeah, good drumming." It's like they could not, like the harmonica players could not say, "Yeah, man, you sound good," and the drummers could not say, "You sound good playing." It's very funny because
Wow,
ego
that is
pops up,
funny.
and egos can be your friend. It can be your enemy too. You know, do whatever serves the song. Don't try to please people with your videos or music. Try to come up with something that is you and that's really coming from here. Because everyone has advice for you. And it's usually not good, I find.
I see.
Well, it's the way I go about things. But
No, yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
well, no, because I think I see what you're doing. It's very exciting to me. It's your first video. It's your first recording. It's your first album. You have a wide open slate in front of you. You could take that anywhere you want that to go. And that to me is, it's like I get no better feeling than looking at an empty piece of music paper. Because I know I could fill that up with something that's never been heard before. Gets me going. Solos too. When I take a solo, I go right out there. I like to drift. Not always good as a sideman. I had to learn how to pull it back in, but I find as a musician, try to stay free. Don't follow a trend either. If you see a video and people are doing something you really dig, don't do it. Do something different. Do the next thing after that. What you think in your head. What do you think? Where you think it's going to go after, the video by the artist you liked? You don't want to try to cop them because it never works. You can't do what other people do. See, I'm preaching. This is where my age comes in. You get this desire to share all this knowledge. It's very funny.
You're sharing so much amazing wisdom and really appreciate it. And it's so great to listen to.
Thank you. Well, it was fun to do this.
Absolutely. Fun for me too. Actually, okay. We have lots of questions in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and read them if you don't mind. So let's see. Oh, Brian McAfee says, Vinnie, I still prefer vinyl. Artistic artwork on the album covers was so much fun back then, along with the liner notes.
I would agree. I don't like the hassle of vinyl, but it does have a certain sound to it, but I would never go back. I mean, I wish I had enough money where I had a 24-track 2-inch tape deck and go to Pro Tools with that. That's the best of all worlds because there's something about the weight of tape. It's not voodoo or anything. It's just tape adds something to the drum track and something to the vocals. It adds a weight that digital doesn't, and there's leakage. See, digital, drums are here, bass is here, voice is here, and it never mixes up. With analog, every once in a while with tape, something from the drum track would leak into the vocal track, would leak into the guitar track. That's why a lot of those old records have such texture, because there's stuff that was never meant to be there that's there. But digital, it's like unforgiving. You know, it's just, this is here, here, here. But I wouldn't go back because it's allowed me the freedom. I mean, look, we could make an album in our bedroom. You couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to go to a studio. It was very expensive. Or I had tape decks, and that was, if you're not the kind of person that's good at tweaking things and maintenance, it was living hell. But I would agree, vinyl sounds good, but it's not worth the hassle. Not for an artist, I don't think.
Interesting. I actually have some friends up in Maine, Horizontal Records, who are actually talking about how, you know, how running music through tapes and stuff gives.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, it gives that unique sound and that texture and that weight.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that before, so that's
Yeah.
really great to know.
Yeah, if you can mix down to a really expensive 2-track, the whole thing will get weight that it didn't have before. Because digital, you have to add that as you're doing it. It's not going to happen. With a record, after you finished and they cut the vinyl and they mastered it, it was like, oh my God, it's completely different. It's like not what you were working with. I remember our first album for A&M. We had one of the best in the business, Bob Ludwig, and the whole album just all of a sudden sat there. The drums sat in the pocket. They had a heaviness to them that you have to do that with digital. You have to add that. You know, It's not going to happen naturally. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to do. But yeah, vinyl does sound good, but I would never go back to just that.
I see. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it was like to, you know, just listen to vinyl or do the tapes, but I have a vinyl player. I have a record player upstairs. I really enjoyed the sound of it.
You hear the difference?
Yeah, I do. It's so much different than, like, you know, just listening off of my phone or just other speakers. I don't know. It's just different.
You can feel it.
It's great.
It has a feel. When you listen, the sound goes in your chest and your stomach. You feel it. Digital is just kind of there. I'm not putting it down. It's like people my age tend to get into this. Oh, it's got to be vinyl. No, it doesn't. I've heard a lot of great sounding digital recording. You know, you just got to know what you're doing with it. And I would never trade the convenience. You know, it's very hard to record analog. So that should be an answer. I kind of agree with him, but I kind of don't.
Interesting.
Kind of the story of my life.
That's cool. Awesome. Richard D says Vinny is a creative soul and he is an American original.
Oh, wow. I'll take that. Thank you. Wow.
Awesome.
That made
All
my
right. Oh, okay. Also, Brian McAfee says, question for Vinny. Do you have a favorite Beatles album? For me, it depends on the mood I'm in. How about you?
That's hard. I mean, probably Abbey Road, but I don't know because it depends on the day. I mean, I like them in a different way. When I was a kid, I was a Beatle freak. I don't really listen to music anymore. If I stumble across something on YouTube, if it's like a great jazz artist I don't know enough about, or I love the Beatles stuff with the exposed, just the drums, just the guitars, and some of the remix stuff. But I think Abbey Road, for some reason, that all hangs together. They were playing well by that point as musicians. I think they all hit their peak. Ringo certainly did. Except now, he's playing actually better now than he played with the Beatles. He's 82 or something. I can't believe how he's drumming. He's playing really well, you know? I'd say Abbey Road if I had to pick, but check with me tomorrow. It could be Beatles 65. You know, it could be the White Album, Pepper.
It really depends. Absolutely, I think so.
Cool.
All right, great. Thank you, Brian McAfee, for the question, and thank you, Vinny, for answering that. And Richard D says, ask Vinny if he was the first to popularize the Steinberger guitar.
Not the first, but probably one of the most widespread. Like I found out recently, I'm Sicilian American, Italian, but it's Italians from Sicily. And I found out that there's tons of Zummos in Sicily. I had no idea. It's like Smith. in Sicily. It's like the name John Smith. Yeah, Zummo is a common name, and most of them play the guitar, and a lot of them play Steinbergers because of me. I had no idea. I did not know this till
That is
recently.
crazy.
It moved me. Yeah, I felt like, wow, that's kind of a responsibility. And recently, there's a guitar teacher in Europe. He put a video out where he was playing my solo on a Joe Jackson tune, note for note, and explaining it to people. And I was amazed that the guy would learn it and that people were talking about it. There was a school in Germany where the guy made them learn this whole Joe Jackson album with their school band. And I read this and I contacted them and I sent them albums of my album for each student. And I talked to them and they had a big newspaper spread. Yeah, it was wonderful. I was nearly in tears. These kids, they loved it too. You know, they loved the interaction, and it just, you put stuff out in the universe, you know, and once in a while you see where it landed and how it affects people. You know, it's interesting.
Yeah, that is so amazing.
Yeah, well, the internet, it's a wonderful thing sometimes.
True. Yeah, you can get your music out everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. All right, let's see. Checking for more questions. Anybody have any more questions? Okay. Okay, cool. Vinny, when you mentioned that the part about making a song that you're hearing in your mind, when the king of pop Michael Jackson was making his Thriller album back in the early 80s, the song for Billie Jean, he could hear what he was hearing in his head, and he would record the sounds that he was hearing all by himself. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. As far as I know, Michael Jackson, they brought in studio guys and he would have some input, but he would mainly just sing. I know people who recorded with him and toured with him. I know a good friend of mine. He was on the tour when Michael Jackson died. He was out there ready to start the gig, and they got the news that Michael Jackson died and the tour was off.
Oh, gosh.
And he said, yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, it's hard for me to have sympathy, to have all those breaks in life, and that's how you go out. I'm sorry, you know. You're given gifts in life, and you just throw it away to get a night's sleep. It just made no sense to me. I feel bad. He was a great talent. It's a shame he died, but, you know, how many people have died from, how many artists have died from drug overdoses? You think it would be catching on with artists now that it's not a good direction to go in.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
But life is tough. You know, it's hard for everyone. I can't imagine what his life was like. I don't envy him.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
No childhood.
Everyone has their own struggles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Doesn't matter. I mean, I remember years ago when I was with Joe Jackson, we did the Johnny Carson show. And that's before your time. He was gigantic. I don't know if you know how huge he was, Johnny Carson. He was like the biggest thing in the country. Everyone looked at his show. And he turned a corner. I turned a corner, and this happens to me because I'm clumsy. I smashed right into him. And he was terrified. I never forget, he's like a wealthy man, the most successful person in showbiz. And he looked terrified. Not that I hurt him, but that I would talk to him. He just looked like, please don't talk. And I just said, excuse me. And I got the vibe right away. It was like, wow, he's got everything in the world. And he's so down. It's like, wow. And I've seen that with a lot of comedians, you know. We did a show once. I did a David Letterman show with Robin Williams was on. And backstage, you couldn't even hear him speak. He talked so low volume and he stared at his shoes. And the minute they announced him, he went out there and it was amazing. It was really educational. He just looked really sad until he got out there and, you know, then he like inflated.
Wow.
Wild. It was a lesson.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I mean, yeah, having all that attention on you and like everything you have to deal with because you're well known and successful, I guess, can be very, very hard.
Well, his thing was he was suffering from dementia.
Oh.
You got to cut him a little slack for killing himself. He didn't mean to do that. I don't think he wanted to do that. You know, I just think there was no way out. And who knows what was going through his head. You know, but yeah, most comedians I've met or work with, they are so quiet. backstage. They tend to be very depressed, quiet people. I guess maybe that's why they go that direction. I don't know. I admire comedians. I think it's the hardest thing in the world. You'll see when you gig and you see sometimes comedians will open for an act. It's the hardest thing in the world. And some of them die a slow death up there. Yeah, I mean, it's just not going over. And they get used to the rejection over the years. I've spoken to a couple of them, but I mean, that's so much harder than what we do. You imagine there's nothing to hide behind. There's no guitar, just you and a microphone. And if they don't laugh, it's going to be ugly. You know, It's not going to go well. But I don't know what question we were answering, but I think we answered it.
I think we did.
Oh, Michael Jackson, right.
Yeah, that's cool. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
You were amazing. And I'm going to see. Oh, Brian McAfee says, Vinnie, you are incredible to listen to. So much knowledge and experience. I agree with that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Anything else?
How does Vinnie rank Curtis Mayfield as a writer and guitarist?
Oh, royalty. Curtis Mayfield. He's a strange guitarist. He did a tuning that nobody else did. A very odd tuning. Because he didn't know. Someone gave him a guitar, and that's kind of the way it was, and that's how he learned to play chords. It's something like or something very strange. I saw it. You could look it up.
I will.
I tuned the guitar. I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't play anything on it, and his voice was remarkable, and he was a great songwriter. One of the greats, I think.
Absolutely. I agree. Curtis Mayfield is, oh my gosh, amazing.
Sad story, but great life.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin Duff says, Vinnie, Paul McCartney wrote Yesterday subconsciously after he dreamed it, and he ran away asking everyone for weeks if they've heard this song, convinced that it had been written by someone else. I did not know that either.
Yeah. Well, that's his story. I don't know. Makes a nice story, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When people relate these stories, I sometimes wonder, especially the Beatles. They have these set questions and set stories. At every interview, people ask them the same questions and they repeat the same answer. I often wonder if some of the answers are not prepared ahead of time. I don't know. I've never asked someone if I ripped off a song before. I don't know. And someone with ears like Paul McCartney, I really doubt it that he would not know if he ripped something off. But I've dreamt songs. I've written songs. See, that's just the way I write. It's different for me. If you say, Vinnie, could you sit down and write me a Beatles song? I say, okay. And I'd sit down and I would write a Beatles song. Why? I just have this thing where if I tell my mind to do it, my mind says, okay, write this, and write this. And I learned that years ago when I first started writing some jingles for people. I wrote for a company, and I said to the guy, what happens if you sit down to write it and you can't think of anything? Because you'll always think of something. Just don't tell yourself it's a possibility you won't think of it. Just sit down and do it. A lot of music, I think people make a big deal out of it. You just have to sit down and do the work. If you do the work in getting better as a musician, as a singer, you're going to get better, and you're going to be better at what you do, and you're going to find a path that is your direction. But people who say like, oh, I had to be inspired, and I don't believe in that. I don't. Sure, yeah, I'll get an inspiration once in a while, but mostly I find it's work. You sit down and you do the work. Try to write a song every day. Try to write something every day. It's a good exercise,
Yeah.
I don't know
definitely.
if that
trains your mind.
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you so much. All right, let's answer a few more questions, and then I think I'm going to play some of your amazing videos.
Oh, how nice of you.
Of course. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. What does Vinnie think of Steve Vai?
He's a good friend, actually.
Really?
I was playing the Hollywood Bowl with Joe Jackson, and after the gig, they had a backstage thing for us, and this guy walks up to me and very calm, very shy. He said, excuse me, I just wanted to tell you, I think you're great. I can't imagine, how do you switch genres? It was a 3-piece band, so we'd go from this kind of music to that kind of music to that kind of music, which is kind of my thing. Well, I could do that. I'm one of the few guys can change on a dime, and my equipment was set up for that. And I said, I don't know. It's just what I do. And I said, what's your name? He said, Steve. I said, all right. And we're talking, and I start looking at him. I look a little closer, and all of a sudden I said, your last name, Vi? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, my God. I turned pale. I said, let me get this straight. You're asking me how I do what I do? How in hell do you do what I do? He goes, I just practice like nothing, you know. And we became friends, like internet friends. And then he called me a couple of years ago. We had a nice chat on the phone. He's a wonderful guy. Supreme talent, though. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
terrifying guitar player.
Oh
Terrifying.
gosh, he is incredible.
He
That
sent
is so
me a couple-
cool.
He designed some fuzz tones and wah-wahs and things for, I think it was Carvin. And he heard, I told him I was doing a Hendrix homage, and he sent me a fuzz tone and a wah that he designed. I use it on my song, Born Too Late. And it made the whole song. It was really nice of him to do. You know, very
Wow.
nice man.
That is so nice. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Good guy.
sharing. That is so incredible. That's so cool.
But I wouldn't get on a stage with him and two guitars. No, I don't think so.
That's cool. All right, one more. Let's see. Who are your top 5 musicians all time?
All time? Wow.
Good question.
Charlie Parker, Charlie Christian, John Scofield, Ringo Starr. It's hard to narrow it down. I guess it would be a tie between John Lennon, George Harrison, and Zal Yanofsky. If you don't know who they are, you know who the first two are. Look up the third one. Zal Yanofsky was the lead guitarist in The Lovin' Spoonful. And he was one of those guys who always played the right note at the right time. I admire that.
Wow.
But I'd have to go Charlie Parker and Charlie Christian are my two main guys.
Mhm.
I'd have to go to 10, 10 people would have to be for me.
Yeah.
Nat Cole, Herbie Hancock. There's a lot of people. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, I think it does. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's fun.
All right. So I think I'm going to play some videos right now of Vinnie. So let me just go ahead and get that set up. And we're going to listen to the Coyote first. And
All right, can I go in the other room for a minute? I was going to just grab
Oh,
something.
sure.
really
Yes.
quickly.
Sure.
All right,
Right.
I'll hear it when it's over too. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Cool, of course. All right.
Cool.
Guys, I'm just getting this set up real quick, and then we'll go ahead and listen to The Coyote. I love this song, by the way. And his whole album. Like, everybody, please go ahead and listen to his music, because it's really just mind-blowing. You're going to enjoy it.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, that was terrific. I love that song.
Ah, thank you. Don't
And
forget
the
to
rest.
credit the
Oh,
great Gary Deinstedt on piano and Will Lee on bass. And Gary Anderson wrote the saxophone arrangement and played all the saxophones. I'm playing
that's
guitar and
great.
drums. I'm doing the drums and the guitar on that one.
Everything sounded great.
Ah, thank you. That
You're
was fun.
welcome. Absolutely. That was terrific. You're brilliant.
Oh, I don't know about that. I like to have fun with my music. That's all.
Oh, for sure. Oh, also, Thomas Duke says the coyote reminds me of the music for Joe Jackson Stepping Out. Did you play on that song?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't agree. But thank you, I guess. It doesn't remind me of Joe. Hmm.
Interesting. Cool. And also,
Yeah, interesting.
Richard says, what Roland model kit were you playing drums on?
That was a Roland V drum kit. A great drummer, Matty Amendola. I don't know how I had the nerve to sit and play drums in front of him at his studio, but he's ego free, so he let me use his drum kit. But no, those are electric drums. That's a V drum kit. I like them. I'm very comfortable playing them.
Oh, that's wonderful. This song is amazing, Vinny. That's what Kurt Paul says.
Oh, thank you, Kurt. Thank you.
And Elvin says, amazing.
Elvin. Good name. It's one of the great jazz drummers, Elvin Jones. I'll take it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, great name indeed. All right. Also, okay, Richard has another tough question. He says, Vinny's top 10 albums of all time.
Oh, God.
This is hard.
That's impossible. Because for me, I would just have to say, for one choice, Beatle albums. Which one am I going to pick? Beatle albums, all of them. But others, I'd say Charlie Christian's Solo Flight. Charlie died at 23. He's one of the first jazz electric guitarists and still one of the best. And he died very young. And that one album is pretty much all he did. He had tuberculosis back in the 40s, I think it was. Yeah. And he's a remarkable guitarist. That, and there's an album with Nat Cole, Buddy Rich, and Lester Young that is absolutely amazing. Then
Nat
after
King
that,
Cole or Nat Cole?
Nat Cole is Nat King Cole.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Playing piano, so I call him Nat Cole. It depresses me that he became a singer, a great, great singer, but he was one of the best pianists in the world. He influenced jazz in so many ways, and people don't even know it.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Check out some night. It's probably going to sound a little hokey, but go on YouTube and look for Nat Cole, Buddy Rich, and Lester Young. There's no bass player. Nat Cole plays the bass on his left hand on the piano, and you don't know it until about halfway through a song. You'll say, wait a minute, there's no bass player. And it's just astonishing what a kind of piano player he was. He could go way out with it, too. Really great.
Wow.
That was like 3 albums, right? God, I'm doing badly here. Miles Davis, 4 or more. Any Lovin' Spoonful album, I'd say.
I've listened to Miles Davis before.
Yeah, well, I like the earlier stuff more than the later stuff. Anything by Cedar Walton, great bop piano player. I used to like Spirit. I used to like Paul Revere and the Raiders. That was a great guitarist in that band. It all depends, because I used to listen to more pop music than I do now. Now all I really listen to is bop and jazz-oriented stuff because I study it. It's kind of what I'm focusing on playing-wise now.
I see. Oh,
Yeah.
What do you think about Spyro Gyra?
Oh, the guitar player is a good friend of mine.
Really?
Julio Fernandez. Yeah, I haven't seen him in years. Great guy, but yeah, great guitar player too.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, Julio, I hope you're doing good.
Oh, cool.
Good man.
Let's see. Yeah. What was I going to say? So speaking of vinyl, when I just got a record player, I had this gig at this vinyl shop, this record store.
Oh, cool.
And so I guess they enjoyed the performance so much that before we started the gig, I was listening to, Spyro Gyra, one of their albums. I forgot which one. but with headphones on, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I have to, like, it's my first time hearing it, and my mind was blown. And because I enjoy jazz, but I've never heard like stuff like that. So after the gig, I was like asking if I could buy that, but apparently it wasn't on sale. But then they just gave it to me for free. So
That's
that
really
was
good.
cool.
You got to work in a vinyl store, though. You'll hear a lot of
Yeah.
stuff you wouldn't ordinarily hear.
Oh, for sure.
Very
For
cool.
sure. Yeah. But that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Great to know that. Let's see. Okay. Does Vinny agree that drummer Erskine brought big band drumming into the modern age? How does he like drummer Al Foster?
Al Forster, I don't even call him a drummer. I call him a painter. I've never heard anyone play drums in such a beautiful manner. You could stand in front of his kit, and it's not loud at all, but it's powerful. He's cut above most other musicians, I think. I got to meet him last year. He was playing with a friend of mine. They were doing a tribute to McCoy Tyner, I believe, and I went to see the tail end of it. And my friend introduced me to Al Forster. And I said, Al, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, my good friend Kenny Washington introduced us, we talked. And he grabbed me and gave me a bear hug. He said, oh, I miss those days so much. Now, he doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. And we talked for like a half hour. Wonderful man. So sweet, which is not the case with most musicians. If you ever get a chance to go up to Al Forster and say hello, get some of that love. I mean, he just radiates this wonderful vibe. No ego. Plays like he wants to back the soloist, and he does it different than any other drummer. And I like Peter Erskine as well. Peter Erskine's a great drummer.
Wow. I'll definitely have to go ahead and check them out. They sound phenomenal.
Al Forster, telling you, one of the top 10 drummers in history for me.
Wow. Okay. I'm writing him down. Cool. All right. So I'm going to play Paul McCartney next. So
Okay.
excited to see that. Also, you were talking about the video production and everything earlier, and I just want to say that the video looks awesome. And so
Thank
is
you.
the
That's
song.
the great Tim Ross. Directed it and conceived it.
Awesome. It's super cool. You guys are going to love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here you go. Hopefully it pops up.
I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. How can you take me away? Things look bleak. My life is spinning out of control. Mess that I'm in. I wanna escape from this feeling. Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. How can you take me away? Being wrong, everything is out of control. I need to run, I just can't take anymore. Need to escape into a magical song. Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. How can you take me away? wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. Oh, can you take me away? Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. Oh, can you take me away? Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. Oh, can you take me away? Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. Oh, can you take me away? Play Paul McCartney. I wanna hear a poem melody. I wanna go back to yesterday. Oh, can you take
Woo!
Oh, thank
That
you.
was. You're welcome. That was phenomenal as well. Really enjoyed that one.
I haven't heard that in so long. I enjoyed it, I have to say. It's better than
Oh,
I thought
really?
it was.
Oh, that's great. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
Any
I'm gonna
questions
try.
from people?
Oh, okay. Let's see. We have a comment from Mark Mohide saying, "Spirit is incredible. Randy California was brilliant and young like Camille in the beginning." Oh, cool. Thanks.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Somebody sent me a message and I got distracted. What was that? I missed
Oh,
it.
you're all good. It says, Mark is saying, "Spirit is incredible. Randy California was brilliant and young like Camille in the beginning."
Oh, cool.
you.
Yes, very good. Yeah, you should listen to Spirit. I think you'd like
Yeah.
that.
I have listened to a few songs. Like my uncle is a big fan of Spirit, and I know Mark has sent me some Spirit songs to listen to. So I definitely have to listen more to that. So I
You
will.
should do It's Nature's Way. It's from their album 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. It's a really nice acoustic guitar song. Way ahead of its time, actually. I think you would do a
I'll
nice
check
job
that
on
out.
it.
Thank you. Awesome. I'll check that out. Also, all right, so Richard is saying, does Vinny agree that Jamie Glazer's work with Jean-Luc Ponty is incredible and timeless? Sorry if I said that wrong.
I know Jean-Luc Ponty. I don't know the Glazer name, though. What did he play?
You can go ahead and tell us, Richard. I'm not sure either. But we have another question from Richard. Did Vinny hang out at all with the late, great Hiram Bullock? Hiram was an exciting player, wicked chops.
No, I knew a lot of people that knew him, and he ironically sent a compliment through a friend. We were both playing on the same song, and he did his part after mine, and he asked the engineer to tell me. He said, "Tell Vinny, I don't know what he's doing at bar such and such. I'd really like to know what he's doing. I don't understand it." It's like one of my little tricks, and I was really happy that he didn't know about it. But it was nice that he sent the compliment. You know, he said, "I liked his playing a lot." But I know Will Leewell, who was very close with him, and Anton Fig, those guys. But I never met Hiram personally.
Wow. All right. That's so cool.
Well, New York's a small town.
True. And the music world is a small place.
Oh, yeah.
Connections everywhere. Everybody knows everyone.
and you never know who's going to be listening when you give an opinion on something.
True. All right, let's see. Oh, that's the exact album that I mentioned to Camille. I haven't given it a listen yet. Sorry, Mark, but I will after the live stream, so don't worry, I will. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and play Ringo Starr.
Everywhere I go, no matter what I do, that song keeps haunting me. The sound I hear belongs to Ringo. My friends all think I'm mad. I should be listening to Pelton or Gad. That girl keeps haunting me. The sound I hear belongs to Ringo. All my life, tried so hard to find my voice, to tell my own story. But the sound keeps haunting me, and haunting me, and haunting me. The patterns of our life, locked inside a four-bar groove. As the years go by, I listen to all kinds of music, but that sound keeps haunting me. The sound I hear belongs to Ringo. The patterns of our life, the patterns of our life, the touchstones of our life, the patterns of our life, the patterns of our life, the touchstones of our life. Photograph, it looks so good, but it hurts so bad if the photograph fades. Looking back, just picture us just looking back at our photographs. Photograph, it looks so good, but it hurts so bad if the photograph
Oh, thank you.
Love that video once again, as well. I mean,
I haven't heard that in a while. Wow. It's a trip.
that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Great video. Really,
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it as well.
I
You're
think you can
welcome.
see how much fun we had doing it too.
Oh,
You
it
know?
looks like a lot of fun and
Oh,
sounds like
well,
it.
my
too.
buddies. I'm surrounded by friends, so it's good. It's always
That's
good.
great. Always good to have a lot of support.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. I really enjoyed that. And let's see. Oh, Goddess Nike says, really enjoying his work. To think wouldn't have heard it but for this live stream. How cool.
Yes, thank you so much, Camille. Very nice of you.
Oh, of course. It's so amazing having you on. Really appreciate you coming on the live stream and being my guest. I'm having a great time. And you're
Always
so
fun.
knowledgeable and you have so much experience. So I'm just soaking it up and I'm having a great time talking to you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you. And Kurt Paul says, awesome song and video, Vinny.
Oh, thank you, Kurt.
And Elvin Dillis has some smiley faces and applause.
Smiley faces are always good.
Indeed.
good.
Can never go wrong. And let's see. Richard D says, can Vinny explain in simple terms how chord scales work? What about harmonic forms?
In simple terms? No, I can't. That's a question. I'm not even sure what that means. Say it again.
Can Vinny explain in simple terms how chord scales work? What about
Chord
harmonic
scales?
forms?
I don't know about I know there are scales. I mean, I learned all my scales at some point, but I don't know about chord scales unless he's talking about like climbing up. I don't know what he means by that. But I'm not very
sure
technical. I'm not really that well educated in that. So
I see.
I'm
Yeah,
self-taught for the most part.
me too. I need to brush up on my music theory and stuff like that.
Well, you know,
Reading music.
I did it until I was like in my early 20s. And I started getting work where I had to read and I couldn't. And I was faking it with my ear. So I went to a guy who thankfully had no ego, one of the greats, Barry Galbraith, and he really knew how to teach you how to read. It was like each week he'd give you a piece of music and the next week he'd take some of the fingering away. Next week he'd take more of the fingering away. So the next thing you know, you're reading it and coming up with the fingering yourself. And he says, you can read now. And I was like, no, I can't. He goes, read this piece of music. And he kind of tricked me into learning it. And I like it that way around. I think had I learned to read and write music before I learned how to play it, I don't think it would have been as good. I think it could be stifling, you know, but me doing it first by ear, there were no rules. No rules at all for me. I could just play what I wanted. I would do some strange things with tunings and all. You could really just experiment. But when you start with something that says, this is the way you do it, you do this, you do that, I'm not a fan of that. I say you pick and choose what someone's teaching you. You know, never take it all. There's always a reason they're teaching and not outperforming. God bless them, but it's always an ego thing in there. I hope that was some kind of answer, but not really. I just kind of got out of it.
No, you're all good. That was some great advice, and I think that was a great answer. Let's see. Richard, if you have any clarification on what you mean, just let us know. And let's see. Kevin Duff says, what did Vinny think of the Stones, The Who, Cream, Fleetwood Mac, and prog bands like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and the rest of the British invaders? LOL.
I like all of it. I don't think there may be one band in there you mentioned that I really don't like, but I'm not going to tell you who it was.
Okay.
But I love
no
the Stones.
worries.
I mean, the Stones were a trip, you know? It was this like somebody falling down the steps and they all land at the bottom at the same time. I always loved the roughness of their first records. It's remarkable how they pulled it together because it's all over the place. I once read an interview with Bill Wyman, the original bass player, and they asked him about the secret to the Stones' time. He goes, oh, that's easy. He goes, Charlie drags, Keith rushes, and I play in the middle. And that's exactly right. When you listen to the Stones, it's exactly what was happening on those records. He was keeping them all in line. And the Who, that's a whole other thing. That's not time the way we know it. They just kind of drifted in and out of bar lines. They really erased a lot of the music paper. The Who. You know, they were a remarkable band for their time. I mean, I just got into
Definitely.
an argument with someone who doesn't like Keith Moon's playing because I'm a big Keith Moon fan.
Oh, I see.
But you named all the bands that I liked from then except one I didn't, which is pretty good for me because I don't like
Okay. Cool. Well, that's awesome. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you like Pink Floyd, though?
and not a lot. I mean, I
Okay.
appreciate what it is, but I don't know. Maybe I should re-listen. I have an odd trait. If I dislike something, I will re-listen every few years to make sure I'm not missing something. And sometimes I change my mind. It does happen, but I
Actually,
don't know.
it's
I
like,
never, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, I was just going to say that, like, sometimes I don't like a song and I'll keep listening to it over and over to see if I can get myself to like it. Most of the time it doesn't work, but sometimes it does.
Well, in the very least, you should be able to listen to something and steal from it.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, just get. Sometimes a player will do something quirky that no one else does. And if you learn how to do it, if you learn what's going on there, you could use that too, but you don't have to like the song.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
to me, liking or disliking music, if you don't feel it in your gut, you don't feel it in your gut. You can't convince someone. You can't sit down and say, you should like such and such. It doesn't work that way. You either feel the music or you don't.
Hmm.
It's very simple. But people get really emotional about it, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
I've gotten to more arguments with people. Like people my age, they get pissed off at me because I like Kanye West. I think he's a brilliant producer. I don't think he should speak, and I'm not a fan of his rapping, but his production, he's an incredible producer. Now, I've had page-long arguments with people on Facebook putting me down for liking Kanye West or liking Yoko Ono, for that
Oh,
matter.
wow.
I like atonal music sometimes, you know? It's
Hmm.
like it's something a little different than what you used to. I find it clears your head once in a while. But people, they get very emotional. I know people my age are pissed off that these groups are selling their songs to be used in commercials. It's like they don't realize it's a business. People need money. You know,
Exactly. It is a business. Yeah.
it's not. The Beatles didn't get together to have a good time. They got together to make money and get girls, and they succeeded in both, apparently.
But yeah, people have very strong opinions about their favorite bands.
It is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can bring out the best or the worst in you, I guess.
I don't mind the strong opinion. It's the getting angry. I've had people like there's something so wrong with me liking Kanye West, like it'll destroy the world or something. It's only music. It's not that important. We like some kinds of music. We don't like other kinds of music. It's not worth fighting over or yelling at. It
Exactly.
really
Just
isn't.
agree to disagree.
Yeah. Or just I don't even. I try to evade the question altogether. Unless if they mention someone I really can't stand, then my temper gets the best of me, and then I start trying to explain why I don't like it.
I see. Yeah.
Just do yourself a favor. Don't give many opinions. You know,
I try not to.
I got in a lot of trouble over the years.
All right, let's see. Oh, Richard says, okay, wait, let me see. Richard says chord scales was a course I took as a student at the Berklee College of Music. The teacher was trombonist Phil Wilson. There are multiple scales to play within every chord. We had to write charts based on this, and I failed miserably. This is why I was hoping Vinnie could shed some light. Oh, great.
I don't have that kind of education. I never went to school for music. I did a little bit of college, but I had to learn one-on-one. I had to get a private teacher to come in and teach me theory one-on-one because it just doesn't get through my brain easily. So I have no idea what Richard's talking about. I understand the concept. I've heard it, but I'm the wrong one to ask about it. When I'm
Yeah, I'm
playing,
sorry.
most of the time, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just let it flow. Later, I can analyze it and come up with some of the theory behind it. But when I'm playing, I'll often get a live gig we did where I videoed it. And I look at my playing and I'm doing something I never did before. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm doing that now. And then it becomes part of my thing. I had no idea. My hand just went there. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what it is now. And then I adapt to that. And probably next week, it'll be something completely 180 degrees different.
Oh, that's great.
Well,
But
you gotta
yeah.
stay open to your inspiration and your feel, I find.
Yeah. Richard, thank you so much for the question. And I'm sorry I'm not able to help you either, as I still need to learn a lot of my music theory. But that's so super cool that you went to Berkeley. I think I want to go to Berkeley too, or something like that.
I wish I had. I wish I had.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you're amazing. So
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome. And let's see. Not a fan of hip hop or rap, to be honest. I don't mind a small amount of it, but if others like it, fair enough.
Cool. Good statement.
Vinny is a genius. He really truly knows what he is doing.
I don't know about that. I'm just winging it.
Sweet. What do you think of Yes?
Oh, I loved Yes. I left college because of Yes.
Really?
I was in college and I was not digging it. It was not a great college. There was too much drug shit happening. It was just getting too out of hand. But there was one good thing. There was a listening room. And I went in there one day feeling really bad about being in the school. And someone put on Yes. I forget. I think it's the second album. And I sat there for a good hour. I listened to the whole album and I had to just leave school and go buy Yes albums. And before I left the school, I threw my books up in the air and I left. I just said, I'm not coming back here.
Wow.
I mean, I wish I had gone to Berkeley, but not the place. It wasn't the right thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, we all have a path we follow. But no, they blew me away. And I saw them, like, I never really went to see groups much because when I was a kid, I'd eat my heart out watching in the audience. I didn't want to be in the audience. I always wanted to be on the stage.
Playing.
So it was very hard for me to enjoy a concert. But Yes was like, they were trippy live, boy. They were amazing. The facility, good musicians,
Oh my God.
And they opened for the Kinks the first time I saw them. And what a joke when the Kinks went on and we left. After all that, you couldn't go back to four chords. As nice as the Kinks are, I like them, but Yes was like wrong opening act. They blew them off the stage.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. I love Yes, and yeah, I've been getting into a lot of more prog rock and like their music, and actually, I've had the privilege of meeting and opening up for John Anderson
Oh,
of
no,
Yes.
nice
Yeah.
guy. I met him once. Nice guy.
With a band, and he is such a nice guy. Oh my gosh,
Sweetheart.
he is.
Yeah.
He is so amazing. And his voice still amazing as ever. So it was so awesome, playing with the band, opening up for him. We went on tour, and I think we did that in like Tennessee, and some other place, Collingswood, and I'm forgetting another state, probably Ohio. I think it was Ohio, in these big theaters. So that was a lot of fun, and just seeing him sing and like the backing band. Of course, it wasn't the original members of Yes, but they were just phenomenal. Like blew my mind. And ever since I saw them live, I've been listening to their music a lot.
Yeah, they were incredible. Unique. Totally unique.
Nothing like that.
No.
Nothing like it. All right. Oh, also, what do you think of Frank Zappa? I kind of heard
love
some Frank Zappa in your music.
I love Zappa, and I'm good friends with Dweezil, his son. A wonderful guy. Frank was nothing to describe Frank. Seeing him live was a trip and a half. I didn't know that a band could be trained so well. I mean, he had those guys trained. They could all like either play, hum, or tap or dance their parts. That's the kind of stuff they rehearse. 5 days a week, 6 hours a day rehearsals with him.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Intense.
6 days a week, 5 hours, or it's 5 days a week. Either one is terrible. To me, more than one rehearsal. I hate rehearsals, so one rehearsal is enough.
I mean, I guess you get very good, after all those rehearsals, though.
Well, he was looking for something else that most musicians weren't. I mean, his stuff was very, very precise. When he conducted, that was his way of conducting. That wasn't traditional. He had codes like if he went like this, it meant he wanted the horns to go, or if he went like this, he wanted them to go downward. Now, if you let your average musician watch him conduct, we wouldn't know what to do when that all went down. but he had those guys trained. And I mean, they could literally sing or dance their parts. I can't imagine doing that. I can't dance. So, I mean, it's just phenomenal. He was amazing, Frank, and I love the writing. He's still, I mean, all these years, there's still new albums every year from Frank. They haven't even begun to touch the amount of his work they have. It's hard to believe. And he foresaw all this. He said, I'm going to die young because I lived near a factory that made fast food when I was a kid. And there were a lot of toxins and poisons. So I'm probably going to get cancer. And I'm probably going to die at an early age. And he did. He predicted the internet. He predicted what would happen with albums now. He saw all this coming. The guy was really ahead of his time by millions of years. And he recorded everything he did. And it's all in a temperature-controlled basement.
Really? Oh, that's crazy.
He recorded every live gig he ever played.
Wow.
And the mothers were together, I'd say, for 20 years. So his kids, they're going to be releasing that. Dweezil's good about it, though. I mean, he's not trying to make a buck off Daddy's name. He's really doing Frank proud. He's preserving the music in a good way. And he's a hell of a guitar player. Nice guy. Very nice guy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so many aren't nice people that it's nice when you do meet one that's nice.
Absolutely. All right. I love Frank Zappa as well, so.
What's your favorite Frank?
I like Zombie Wolf.
That's my favorite album, Overnight Sensation.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
By him.
I actually, with the same band that, I opened up for John Anderson with, we actually used to play that one, and we used to have like the saxophones and everything. Yeah, and guess what? I would do the Zombie Wolf part, so I would be the one screaming and doing the mothers too.
Did you ever hear the story behind that singer?
No. Which singer?
Can't think of his name. He was actually like an LA jingle singer or something. Frank discovered him because this guy said, you got to meet this guy. He's out of his mind. He brought him in and he said, oh, you got to sing this song. I think it was like one take or something. He ended up walking off a cliff, I believe, a few years later. Died a few years after Zombie Wolf. I can't think of his name.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
He's interesting to read about that. He was mentally ill, the guy, but of course Frank would pull him into a studio immediately. That's kind of what he did. Did you know Tina Turner sings on Overnight Sensation?
I did not know that.
All the female backup vocals, the Tina and the Ikettes.
Mm-hmm.
Paid,
never mind. I did know that. Sorry.
They got paid like $25 each or something, or I forget, some ridiculous amount of money.
Really? That's interesting. I did not
Great
know
album.
that. Yeah, I did not know that about that. Wait, so that singer, he's saying like the monster parts, the Zombie Wolf parts?
And he sang 50-50. No, Frank sang Zombie Wolf. I'm sorry. 50-50 is the song I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Only this guy could have sang that song. I mean, he just sounds like they carted him away right after the session. I've never heard a vocal performance quite like it, but it's one of Frank's best solos. And I think it really captures the spirit of that band, that song, the liveness of them, because they had just gotten off the road. That was an incredible band. I didn't see that live. I wish I had.
Mm-hmm. No, I actually haven't heard that song, so I'll make sure to check that out.
All of Overnight Sensation is pretty good, and Apostrophe. Those two albums are the poppiest Frank ever got. But he stumbled on things that I never heard before, just combinations of instruments and things.
Cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing indeed. He's brilliant.
I'm glad you didn't mention one that I can't stand,
Yeah, thank you guys for bringing all these amazing artists up in the chat. Yeah, I think we're gonna close it here.
Good.
Vinny, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for asking.
Oh, of course. It was so amazing to have you on. You're just phenomenal and mind blowing. You're such a great musician.
And I'm sending you the albums. I'm going to send downloads tonight.
Yes, please. Okay, I'm super excited to listen.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to everyone for the great questions. They really were good questions.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Also, before we go, would you like to go ahead and share some of your social media or where people can find you to listen to your music?
You can always find me on Facebook. I have a website. Aside from that, my stuff's on CD Baby, iTunes. It's always best if you want to buy my music, contact me on Facebook because I can give it to you at a better price and I'll sign them, and I like the interaction with the fans anyway. So, and I have a lot of videos on YouTube. I'd love for you to see, get my numbers up on YouTube. We did some new things. I have one for the pandemic that's kind of beautiful, an improvised version of Amazing Grace.
Wow. Yay, that's super exciting.
That's about
That's
it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well,
You went
everybody.
away. Oh, there you are.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, also, before we go, Mark knows who it is. Apparently, it was Ricky Lancelotti.
Ricky Lancelotti. Right. Thank you. It's going to drive me crazy until I got to the internet.
Mark, thanks so much for getting it. Awesome.
Look him up. Read his story.
I will. I'm literally taking notes on my notebook. Okay, here. I have a lot of stuff to check out. It's awesome.
Well,
Sweet.
thanks a lot for having me.
Oh, of course.
We'll
Thank
keep
you.
in touch. Hope everyone contacts me on Facebook.
Everybody go ahead and do that. And sounds good. Hope you have an
good.
amazing rest of your night and
You
week.
too. Take care.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Vinny.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much, Vinny, once again, for coming on and being on the show. I had a great time. And it was a lot of fun. All right. I think I'm going to play just one song, and I'll go ahead and close the show with that song, and that is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, because I had a request for that one, I remember. And if you don't mind, I'll play American Boy and that other song, the Put Your Records On, another day, if that's okay. Truly appreciate everybody staying tuned. That was a lot of fun, and I definitely gained a lot of knowledge. So that was just so educational, and that was great. Vinny is amazing, amazing. All right, let's see. Gonna get my guitar, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Here is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions had an echo and so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice.
Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. Do you really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. Well, I think you're crazy. Well, maybe you're crazy, just like me. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. Yeah, all I remember is thinking I wanna be just like them. And ever since I was little, it looked like fun. And it's no coincidence I've come. I can die when I'm done. Well, maybe I'm crazy. Well, maybe you're crazy. Well, maybe we're crazy. Probably.
That was my rendition of Crazy, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying tuned and tuning in. Happy Easter to Elvin and everyone watching. And thank you so much, Jean, for the stars. Thanks, Dad. And happy Easter, Mark Mohide. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Elvin. You are so kind, and I appreciate you watching and tuning in each week. You guys are the best. I love you all, and your support and kind words and all your love really means the world to me. And Goddess Nike says it's not going to be long until until people are saying to others, "Have you heard Camille K yet? You got it. I'm already doing it." Oh, thank you so much, Goddess Nike. You are too kind. You are so kind, and I really, really appreciate it. My brown eyes are like chocolate candy. LOL. Oh, nice. And thank you so much, Richard. Appreciate that as well. And Kurt Paul says, Camille, there's a famous band that I want you to check out. The band is called R5 and the Driver Era. You will like their songs. Oh, sweet. Okay. Thanks for the recommendation, Kurt. Appreciate that too. So I'll go ahead and check them out. Okay, I'm writing everything down. Cool. R5 and the Driver Era. Interesting name. All right, let's see. Oh, Goddess Nike heard American Boy, the virtual. Oh, you watched the virtual concert. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning into that. That was a lot of fun. Special thanks and shout out to Sammy Cantor for inviting me to play on there. You're amazing. Thank you. It was awesome. Lots of fun recording those songs. And I hope you guys have a great night. And happy Easter to everyone who celebrates it. Can't speak now. William McGoon, I hope you are doing great. Sending love to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Sweet dreams and peace out to you too. And thank you so much, Noah Allen. You stay safe as well. All the love to you. Kevin Duff says, I'm just reading some comments before I go. Camille, please check out Veronica Lewis. She's only 17 herself. She's amazing. She can play the life out of the piano and has no bass in her band. She plays bass on piano. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I'll check her out. Veronica Lewis. All right, thanks so much for the suggestion, Kevin. Sounds like she's awesome. And thank you so much, everyone. Happy first day of April. Happy April Fools. Oh my God, April Fools. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll play some more songs on the 15th, actually. Yeah, I won't be live streaming next week, so I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I'm gonna be working on some other stuff. So really excited for more stuff coming up. And then I'll be returning on the 15th of April for an anniversary show, which marks the anniversary of the first Live It Up Thursday live stream that I had a year ago. So that's gonna be, I'm super excited for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm gonna be having on my amazing and extremely talented friend, Jake Thistle Music on, and he was actually the first guest that I ever had on this live stream. So it's gonna be awesome to have him back again, and looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Have a great night. And thank you so much, Richard. I will never smoke or drink. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. I love you all. Okay, I'm going to get going. Sending so much love to you. Stay safe. Take care. Have a great week. If you celebrate Easter, have a great Easter. And yeah, be amazing, guys. Peace and love to you all. Love you so much. Thank you for all the support. And thank you once again to Vinnie Zummo. I had a great time, and he's just mind-blowing. So everybody go ahead and check him out and support him. And yeah, all right, have a great night or great morning or day to anybody watching from other parts of the world. And yeah, all right, have a great one. Bye. Love you all.